Yo, what's going on, guys? Hanging on Outdoors here. My name's Dimitri, back with another video. In today's video, we're turning this crusty, rotted out, falling apart Wright mower bagger into this. So basically, we just had to reskin the bottom of this. I do have an old channel that I was doing stuff like this, but I ended up putting that channel in the back burner to make videos for this channel. But if you guys are interested in stuff like that and you want to see it, maybe I'll link that channel, and you can go watch there. Maybe we'll keep it separate, or if you guys are interested in this and all the archery stuff, maybe we'll keep posting to this channel as well. So make sure you let me know in the comment section below. I would much appreciate that. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into the build, guys. All right, guys, so as you can see, this thing has gotten a lot of use. This thing rubbing up against the ground and just slowly being worn away. A lot of the welds have let go, and then this right here is just straight up from rust and rot that it's worked its way all the way back to this point. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna completely cut everything off, and we're gonna weld on new pieces of sheet metal. We're going to actually kind of like spot weld all of these, or stitch weld these two plates together, because this was the biggest size that they had at Home Depot. It was 2 foot by 2 foot, and then cut to this shape and weld back on. And speaking of welding, this is all possible because of this guy right here. This is a Primeweld MIG285. So this is just 16 gauge sheet metal. This is definitely overkill for it, but a huge shout out to Primeweld. They did send me this welder. I am not required to give this welder a good or a bad review. I basically just reached out to them saying, would you be interested in sending me a welder? They said, knock yourself out, and they shipped one to my door, which was really cool. So we're gonna be using this thing today to fix this thing. To get a welder of this caliber in blue or in red, you'd be spending about $4,500. So for this thing to cost $1,000 and perform the way that it does, it is pretty sick. Not a paid promotion, I do not have to say that. All they did was send me this thing. I've used it and I absolutely love it. So moving on, let's go ahead and start grinding this rotted piece of metal off. That we used in the last video. I believe this should do that. Toss this in the dumpster. That was a lot of grinding, but we are done. We get a couple problem areas up in here where it's actually rusting through, like from the back, that we kind of broke through while we were trying to get to clean metal, but that's all right. The next step is going to be get some cardboard, lay it on here and trace the outside of this. Thinking about you. just to make my life easy, this side right over here seems pretty square. So I'm just gonna line that up with the edges. So okay, now we can take the bagger off, grab our knife, and that's the shape that we have to cut out. Now we can lay this on the sheet metal once we have it all tacked up, trace it, and then just zip it out with the little cutoff wheel that we got, and it should fit pretty nicely. Now let's set up the welder. All right, guys, so real quick before we get the Primeweld set up, I just wanted to quickly go over the accessories that you get with it. So you're gonna get a regulator for your gas. I don't know if you can see it over there. You should be able to. It's sticking right out of the tank. You're gonna get a hose that goes up into the machine. You're obviously gonna get the machine. I would hope so. If you're buying a welding machine, I'd hope the welder comes in the box. You're going to get a stinger lead. This is pretty nice. It's for, you know, your stick welding, rated for 300 amps. I don't do much stick welding, so I probably won't be using this. That's why obviously the twist tie is still on there. Then you get your MIG lead. This is a 15-foot MIG lead, I believe. Pretty big torch. This uses Tweco consumables. It's pretty cool. I like the torch a lot. The lead is really nice. Seems pretty sturdy, and the trigger is really nice on this thing. Then you're gonna get a ground clamp. This right here is a really nice, it's like a solid brass, real heavy duty ground clamp. Pretty substantial lead as well. I believe it's also like a 10 or 15 foot ground clamp lead. Then you're gonna get a bag of your drive rollers and your consumables. These are consumables for different size wire. So you have like 4.5, 3.0, 3.5. I don't think they supply 2.5, but then your drive rollers for all the different kinds. You can go 0.25 all the way up to 0.45, I believe, with these drive rollers. You also get this guy right here, which is really cool. This is like a chart that you would normally find on the inside of the welder here. This is the same chart, but they actually give you one externally that you can hang up or keep next to you, you know, so while you're working you can see what you have to set the machine to, which is really cool. And then one thing that I also want to note is the door drops down, which is really cool. A lot of machines, they're usually tipped up, so the door would come up this way, and then it's just kind of a hassle when it's on a welding cart and stuff. You have to flip it up and look underneath to get your settings and stuff. But this has it right here, right on the door that flips down, which is pretty sick. All right, guys, now this could be really dumb or really smart. To be totally honest, I'm not quite sure. I have these pieces of aluminum. They're like 1/8 inch aluminum. And because I'm welding on a wooden table, and obviously wood and molten steel, temperatures of molten steel, don't really mix too well, I'm actually going to place these guys underneath the material, like so, in hopes that I don't set my table on fire, as well as doing it this way. I think it's going to really help with the burn through. So now that that's tacked and the seam's nice and tight, I can just go ahead and try to stitch weld this all together. Okay, I think I found the setting. So I'm kind of having to do this in sections because you know, it's just kind of pumping too much heat into a certain spot. and it's causing it to warp the panel like crazy. Like I can actually hear it tinging and dinging right now. All right guys, so everything's welded. If it was a show car or if it was my personal project car, I probably would have done things a little differently, but I digress. Alrighty, and now we're just gonna take our little DeWalt cutter. This is fitting to the outside edge, so we're gonna go ahead and probably use the big bore grinder, hit the edge, which kind of blows because I just spent a lot of time rounding over the edges, but it's all right. Okay, big two. All right guys, so we have it all welded up here. It took a little while. The wind would come and completely screw up my welds because it would just blow the gas right off of it and then it would become like super porous. Now I just have to hit it with the grinder and it should be good to go. I'm gonna do that off camera. I don't think you guys need to see me grind anymore. I think I have plenty of that in this video. So that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the content, if you want to see more like this, make sure that you hit the thumbs up button, make sure you get subscribed, and shoot me a comment down below if you want to see more videos like this, me just fixing random stuff around the house or starting to do more fabrication. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Ciao.